are these people?
Another section which is going to be debunking Russia, U.S., Ukraine propaganda. Okay, because there's plenty of that going on. This is actually a really good magazine, I have to say. I've been digging this guy, Jeremy Kuzmarov, who is the managing editor for Covert Action magazine. CIA, and I didn't even really hear about this. CIA behind secret plots to kidnap, torture, and assassinate Ukrainian dissidents for President Zelensky, says a Ukrainian defector. So, of course, we're going to have to take it with a bit of a grain. This, again, is a really long article. Here is the source. So he's giving you what his source is, but they're listing out techniques and torture techniques of torture and assassination deployed by the SBU. Okay, recall the U.S.'s brutal Operation Phoenix. This is similar type of stuff. I mean, again, super long article. I will drop it in the chat for everyone to be able to read later on. But wow. Again, you've got gray zone CIA employees are residing in clandestine apartments and suburban houses. And hey, there they are. Look at that. Right? So then we've got Vasily Prozorov and what his relations, his revelations take on extremely ominous implications in light of a new report by Gray Zone, okay, detailing his campaign, the SBU's campaign of assassination, kidnapping.
Well, the Ministry of Truth says
they're not going to like this very much.
We can't, the gray zone is not good. So,
right. Yep. Sounds like National Liberation Front, like what they were accusing there. During congressional hearings in 1971, Ogden Reed said that if the Union had a Phoenix program during the Civil War, its targets would have been civilians like Jefferson Davis or the mayor of Macon, Georgia. Right.
Go back up a little.
Go ahead.
A little bit more. The picture. Why'd they take that picture? That they went to Marine Reacts YouTube. That's what they did. And took that picture. That's what, like, straight up. That's what they're doing. That's sorry. Go ahead.
Why? Yeah, why? All right.
That's
so
like Marine reacts to terrible human, indecencies. Like
one of the targets of these death squads was the mayor of eastern city of Crimea in the Ukrainian-controlled side of Luhansk, Vladimir Struk. All right, on March 1st, he was kidnapped by men in military uniform, shot in the heart, with his tortured body displayed before the public. Right, he reportedly urged his Ukrainian colleagues to compromise and negotiate with pro-Russian officials. So we see what they were doing there. And again, they're going to talk about all these people, okay, who celebrated it, declaring that there's one less traitor. They're calling them traitors.
I've seen multiple videos of the SBU taking people like out of their homes if they catch you like retweeting a Russian flag or retweeting anything that can be construed as like pro-Russia, and just take it, like basically black bagging you and taking you away. Even the main opposition leader, or the leader of the opposition party in Ukraine, his name is Viktor Medvedchuk, was recently taken in by the SBU. I think the Gray Zone covered that as well. And again, only because he's the main opposition leader against Zelensky's party.
Okay. I mean, they've got this stuff.
What did I call these, Indy? What did I name this group? The blue and yellow assassins. Isn't that how I did it?
Yep. Sure enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I in news covered this with Tara this week.
11 mayors in Ukrainian towns are missing. All right. And they're also the ones that were advocating for a peaceful solution and to make a deal with the Russians.
They're they're trying to round up journalists with vans full of weapons. Like you can't get much more blatant than that.
Nope.
With pictures of like Adolf in their car.
Yep.
All right.
And
by the way,
make this up.
I've still got people telling me that Russians are the ones that are bombing and preventing civilians from leaving because they're bombing the area. This specifically says this guy reportedly entered into negotiations with the Russian military to organize a humanitarian corridor, and that's a red line, and that's one of the reasons why he got confiscated and disappeared. And the Ukrainians claim that he was killed by Russian soldiers while distributing food and medicine. But of course, the propaganda war is
that shit makes
on.
no sense on face value, because like if you're thinking about how the Russians have fought this war so far, the last thing that they want is to give the US a reason and NATO a reason to go further and to send their own troops in. So the last thing they would do is the stuff that these people are saying that they did. It makes no goddamn sense. If anything, like, you know, Scott Ritter's talked about this a little bit, is he talks about like they're actually being pretty surgical in trying not to kill civilians when it comes to this war on purpose, because of course they don't want the United States to get involved with our own troops. That's the last thing they need. So of course they're going to try to not give us a reason. But then these people, they're trying to, you know, of course, do the false flag stuff. They're trying to give the United States every reason in the world to get involved. Bellingcat, Leftist News, one of our INN brethren, just did a great couple of articles on Bellingcat on how they were immediately running with the story about how the Russians gassed a whole bunch of people using chemical weapons, which we know is a red line for Biden. It was completely made up. Completely made up. Did they retract? No, of course they don't. They run with the story to try to get us to escalate further.
Did they convite?
No. Yeah, he pulled the history of the world.
He did a little bit.
He did. A little. So yeah, the Strangler. Look at this. The director of the SBU's counterintelligence, Alexander Polkad, nicknamed the Strangler, uses torture or sort of dirty tricks to set up his boss's political rivals on treason charges. Okay, but this dude, is, again, Zelensky, man of the people, promoting a bill to expand the SBU's powers even further because they're not powerful enough already, and his close friend is the guy who runs it. What a shock. So, in a March 19th XO, Zelensky invoked martial law to ban 11 opposition parties, which I know that you covered, Rob, on your channel. The outlawed parties consisted of the entire left-wing socialist or anti-NATO spectrum in Ukraine. They included the For Life Party, Left Opposition, Progressive Socialist Party. Oh my God, the Socialist Party of Ukraine, Union of Left Forces. So they're now outlawed. Can you imagine if we just were not allowed to say that we were not a Democrat or a Republican or a third party independent, or that we weren't affiliated at all, or that we were standing completely in opposition to the fascist state that our country has become? But openly fascist.
We'll just have to see exactly how fascist Biden decides to get.
Well, exactly.
We're letting it happen over there, so it doesn't happen over here. Right? We're going to fight him over there, so we don't fight him over here. So again, inmates considered SBU-run prisons to be like small Gitmos. Oh, that's good to hear. Beatings take place all hours of the night. Great. Amidst the backdrop of Ukrainian nationalist music, just in case you didn't want to hear that, they're going to play that for your listening pleasure. Probably blasting in your ears. And again, here's the Phoenix program, and talking about the Phoenix program, Phoenix Redux, which is a play on Apocalypse Now. Talking about Lucien Conain, told him that Phoenix was, again, this is a super long article, and it goes and 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 goes. Jeremy's really good. Again, I highly recommend, go check this out. And then he answers people that respond to him in WordPress too. This is a WordPress website. Really good stuff.
Cool.
Again, there's so much to this. They grant republishing, they have permission to cross-publish, done not-for-profit community internet sites as long as it's sourced, which we do. And again, I give them a ton of credit for stepping out and publishing stuff like this. There's an article, a link to this article for everybody to go check it out. Chat.
It's only a matter of time until his PayPal account is suspended.
Right?
That's how you know you're doing good work, is that either the Daily Beast is smearing you, or you're having your PayPal account suspended, or both.
And yet people are celebrating Elon's free speech attempt at buying Twitter with his blood emerald money,
quote unquote, free speech.
I tend to think that like one of the first things that he would do if he really cared about free speech is removing that like state affiliated media label from everybody that happens to be related to China or Russia. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. there's some things I've been looking for him to actually do if he were serious. One of the things he could do, by the way, guys, is he might just tweet hashtag free Assange. You know, you'll get about 5 million likes. And you know how much that would do for a Julian right now if he did that, but he's not doing that shit. If he really cared about free speech, he'd tweet about Julian Assange. He'd remove those bogus ass labels. It's not just about algorithm manipulation. It's about like truly like making Twitter a, you know, a marketplace of ideas and a town square type thing. And I haven't seen that happen. I mean,
this is a guy who would charge a subscription service on Mars for oxygen. I guarantee.
Yeah.
That's what he would do.
Yeah.
He's trying to get the patent on that right now.
He's got patents on brain chips that have killed monkeys. Like, he literally watched bad sci-fi and thought, that's a good idea. I need to do that. Like, what?
Yeah, that Neuralink
first
stuff,
of all,
that's horrifying.
First of all, you never do that kind of stuff to monkeys because that's how you get Planet of the Apes. Second of all, you don't do that to humans because that's how you get Planet of the Apes. Like,
right.
You know, like you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, no.
It's a stuff of nightmares, man. We live in dystopia.
Supposed to do? Like, are you just gonna have to, like, to remember a memory? Are you gonna have to like watch an ad? Is that what it is? Is that like, are you just gonna get like, you know, your first kiss has to like, gotta wait for like a Spotify ad to play before you like remember that? Oh,
so
it's the worst.